Hello and welcome everybody back to The Pulse here, hosted by PeakBot. I'm Dillon, your co-founder of PeakBot, joined by my co-host, Ben, also co-founder of PeakBot. Ben, how are you this morning?
I'm hanging in there, a little under the weather, but we'll survive. Dylan, do you ever feel like after that intro, because the guys at Tradier did such a good job on that intro, it's so underwhelming when our faces just pop up on screen?
No, absolutely it is. It starts getting underwhelming when our pictures show up, and then
Yeah.
we show up, and you know what? We're here though. We do have good information for you. Don't judge a book by its cover. Hang around. We got some great data here for you this week. Everything options selling, as the tagline says, from exploration to automation. We are excited to get into it. Another full week of trading ahead. Last week, good week overall. I think I don't want to speak for everybody, but market saw another nice little bounce back, and maybe we can keep the same thing going for this week. Knock on wood. So for anybody who's new to the show, PeakBot is an automated options selling platform for the retail trader, executing trades on your behalf. We take well-known, relatively low risk, put an asterisk there, trading strategies for the everyday person to be able to put a stock trader in their pocket. So what we like to do on this show is review some of the stocks from our watch list, take a look at some charts, answer some questions. I will get a banner on the bottom of our screen here in just a second. We have a phone number, 973-888-1166. Please text or call us there. If you want to call live on the show, we've said this a couple times, do it. We'll make it work. We'll get you live on air. But feel free to text us, and you can also schedule your personal demo at the link below. So, Ben, I will hand it over to you here in just a second, and we can get into things, unless I missed anything.
No, sounds good. I'm going to pull up my watch list right now, get started. Want to look at a couple of stocks here. I'll go back into bar chart again for anybody new that's joining. I'll show you guys how we put together this watch list. But essentially what we're doing here is we're automating the wheel option strategy. Quick overview on the wheel. You start by selling cash secured puts. If you get assigned shares at expiration, we will go ahead, flip that, and sell covered calls for you. Now, what PeakBot does is we automate that entire process. All you have to do is pick the stock, set how many contracts you want to trade, and then get going. And that's really it. We want this to be a super lightweight, super simple experience. And you could get started today before the market opens. If you got a Tradier account, just sign up for a PeakBot free trial. We got a 2-week free trial offered right now, and get traded. I mentioned that we automate the wheel. Yes, there's a version of what we do that automates the wheel, and you're going to want to go when you're looking at our watch list, which is at usepeakbot.com/watch list. You're going to want to go to the unhedged version if you're feeling frisky. But if you're anything like myself or Dylan, we put a little bit of protection on the wheel. We started to, after learning based on some past trades and seeing some sharp decreases in stocks, we learned that it's always good to be hedged, right? Protect your downside. So we made a modification to this automation, to this strategy, and we're now selling vertical spreads. So to get started, if this is your first trade with PeakBot, to get started, what PeakBot will do is it'll open up a vertical credit spread on the put side for you. And then if you get assigned, then we'll go ahead and start selling call spreads, vertical call spreads at a credit. So you're collecting premium. That's the name of the game. You're collecting premium this whole time. And you do have the opportunity to also realize gains on the buying and selling of shares at assignment and calling away. So that said, I'm going to flip over to bar chart to show you guys, if you want to put this list together, or you want to look at some stocks that are not on this list. How can you go ahead and find stocks that are paying out high enough premiums to get you interested, and don't require, as much cash needed if you don't have such a big account? So I'm going to go over to bar chart. Once you're here, you're going to want to click on the options tab, and then you're going to want to click on most active options. I'll zoom in a little bit there. Most active options. Now, we have a Premier account here, so we can see everything. If you have a free account, you still will be able to see some data. But what we like to do is we like to sort by options volume. And we also like to consider what the stock's price is. Because, again, as a reminder, when you're selling cash secured puts or even vertical put spreads, if you do get assigned shares, you will be assigned 100 shares per contract that you own. So, for example, if you're trading NVIDIA, and let's say you were trading the 450 strike, if you were assigned shares on one contract, 450 times 100, you would have to have $45,000 in your account. So, what we like to do is we like to sort out these stocks that don't have enough volume, and we like to sort out any stocks that are priced a bit too high. There will be some exceptions that make their way onto the list. But if you wanted to take a look at whatever else is out there, you could go to bar chart, you can go to most active options, and you can get this list. So back over to the watch list, and we have a question that popped up on YouTube, and it's about this first stock here on the list. We've got GameStop. Sure, everybody who's ever traded before is familiar with GameStop, especially. I mean, they made a movie about it, GameStop and AMC. Dylan, did you see that movie?
I'm ashamed to say that I still haven't seen the movie. I've been busy working on PeakBot. That's my fake excuse, but real. No, I got to see it. And GameStop had a good week last week, right? I mean, anybody who traded GameStop last week with this strategy probably was very happy with things. Now, this week, I'm stealing Ben's thunder here a little bit. I'll kick it back to you in a second. This week, they're reporting earnings. Anything on our watch list that is highlighted, or I guess dark lighted, if you will, and bolded in gray there, they're reporting earnings in the next 7 to 10 days, a lot of these being this week. So GameStop reports on Wednesday. I'm not sure off the top of my head if it's pre-market or post, but David's question, I'll take my shot at this, and then I'll give Ben a chance to respond. Do you feel safer taking high premium trades like GameStop now with the hedged puts? I'll tell you, I just organized my portfolio for this week, which I'll be sharing later on the show, and it didn't include GameStop. That question came in from David, and he almost got me to trade GameStop. We'll see if my mind changes by the end of this show. My answer is, yeah, I'm absolutely more confident in it because I know the most I can lose, right? The most I can lose on that trade with this strategy this week is $250. How do we get there? Well, I'm sure David knows this, but to those who may not, it's the distance between our strike prices. Our sold strike is $13.50 and our bought strike is $11. There's $2.50 in between times 100 shares means $250 max loss. If GameStop was to run from $15.30 all the way below 11, which in an earnings report week with a stock like this is very possible,
Good.
You're not going to get assigned your shares. You're going to take your loss and you're going to move on. Now, here's my thoughts really quick. Yes, I'm more confident, but I'm still personally not going to take it. I know what my max loss is, but I'd still prefer not to have a max loss. And with a stock that's paying 4.37% in estimated premium, that stock's going to go like this week. I mean, who knows? But, it's destined to be pretty volatile. So I still like sticking in my 0.5% to 1.5% range. But, yeah, I'm definitely more confident in trading those if I wanted to give it a go. Ben, what are your thoughts on that?
You know what would be interesting, and maybe we'll add this. I know we have a lot of data on the watch list already, but it would be interesting to add this. If we divided the estimated net premium into the estimated max loss, because essentially what we're saying is, hey, would you risk $250 to win $59? Yeah. Right? I mean, that's essentially at the end of the day what it comes down to. So when we look at estimated return, we're dividing the estimated net premium into the estimated cash needed here. So, for your amount of money that you put up, what's your return going to be? But another way to look at it, like we just said, is, what's your max loss? And then what's the amount of premium compared to that? So, Yeah, no, Dylan, I think you did a good job answering that. I think for me, yes, I definitely feel safer. I'm actually surprised that the spread is as tight as it
That
is
tight.
when
Yeah.
GameStop is reporting earnings. I did just pull up the option chain um, on Tradier just to confirm that that information was still correct. And this information will change when the market opens, right? When there's more trades happening, when there's live data flowing in and out of the market after the market opens, all of this will change. But yeah, I mean, you guys, if you're wondering how we set up our spreads, take a look at this information up here. We sell the put strike that's closest to the 30 delta, and then we buy the put strike that's closest to the 10 delta, and that gives us our hedge. Sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen. Go
I
back
was
to the
going to
watch
say, I
list.
lost your mouse there.
Yeah, no, you're good. I forgot I have to click a button every time. I gotta switch back.
Oh, good.
But we are selling the put strike that's closest to the 30 delta, and then we are buying the put strike that's closest to the 10 delta for that hedge. So if we go to the option chain on Tradier, we're looking at this week's expiration. I'm looking at this column here for delta, and then I said closest to the 30 delta. It's closest to and greater than the 30 delta. So that puts us at the 13.5 strike. See the delta here.
Greater than can get confusing. It's a negative number, right?
Yes.
So closest to without going over, if you will, however you want to word it. But yeah.
Yep. And then same principle for the hedge, which is the closest to but greater than the 10 delta, which is our 11.5 strike. And we can see that the delta there is 8.7. So yeah, all still looks good in terms of the information on the watch list. Again, all of this is subject to change. We cannot possibly change this live with the market. Maybe one day, but at least with the resources we're working with now, not possible. But anyways, there are only a couple of stocks reporting earnings this week. I mean, we've got GameStop, we've got Chewy, DocuSign, and Neo. If you go down the list, looks pretty clean. We got quite a bit of stocks to choose from. So, this 4.34% ish could look tempting, but I mean, look right below that. We've got Marathon, we've got Carvana, we've got Affirm, we've got Riot, all reporting or all estimating. We got Beyond, all estimated at over 2.5% return.
There's got to be something going on. Those are pretty high, right?
They are pretty high.
Yeah.
We were coming off of earnings season. We're coming off of incomplete weeks in the market. So maybe just trading volatility is expected to be high this week. But yeah, there could be a multitude of reasons. That brings us back to the point of when you are trading, make sure you're trading stocks that you're comfortable owning, right? Because there is the potential that you get assigned shares. If you don't know what Marathon Digital Holdings does, and you don't really know anything about the company, maybe you shouldn't trade it. Not financial advice, right? But I know for me personally, I like to know a couple of things about what a company's doing when I'm trading it. So that way, again, if I do get assigned, I could feel good about what I own.
Yep.
So we did pick out a couple of stocks to analyze on the charts this week. If anybody watching has any stocks that they'd like to see on screen, just put that into the chat. Let us know. But I'm going to be looking at, maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's not, but GameStop first. So when we're looking at the charts, again, I'm on my Tradier account. I am on the research tab. Type in GameStop. I'm going to click on the 1 month chart, and we can see, I'm not sure what happened last week, but big jump up last week. So that's, that's kind of scary for me because there's this gap here from around 1350 up to that 1450. You might have heard the terminology before. There's a gap that has to fill, and that's just referring to like the stock price has to go back into that gap. There has to be trades within there because there was trades that were missed out during that gap. Now, is that always the case? Is that always true? No. But it's just something to look out for. So I'm going to go down to the technical analysis now. I'm going to switch to our 1 week technical analysis. We're getting some sell signals here. If you saw that, we went from the 15 minutes at a buy to the 1 week at a sell. There's a good amount of neutral and buy strategies compared to sell. Like if you add those up, there's a little bit more there. But again, leaning towards the sell side So again, that on top of earnings, like I'm personally going to stay out, Dylan. I think if you were considering adding GameStop after seeing this, you're probably out now. Is that right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one we have up on the list is Coinbase. So ticker COIN. Now looking at this stock for the last month, strong upward trend. If you've been trading this for the last month, even longer than the last month, you've been experiencing some pretty nice trades. I've, not to brag, but I personally have been trading coin for the past 3 or 4 months, and it's been quite a nice ride. They are not reporting earnings this coming week, so and if we actually look at the watch list, we can see that coin's a little bit lower. Not too far though, because we're still expecting basically a 2% payout when you look at the estimated premium to cash needed. If you got a little bit of a bigger account, this is a nice stock to pick up potentially $250 in premiums this week.
That is nice.
by putting 12.5K aside. So that's what the chart looks like here. I'm going to go down to the technical analysis tool. 1 week, we've got 0 sell signals here. We've got 14 buy and 10 neutral, 0 sell. Dylan, you're reconsidering now.
My current PeakBot account has just enough to cover that contract in entirety. You might just see me wipe everything out and just go coin. Not like me, but we'll see. That I don't think, since we've been doing this show, I don't think we've seen go on the 1 week analysis go all the way to strong buy with 0 sell.
First one.
I don't think we've seen that.
First one. I think there's a lot of sentiment in the market that we're going to end the year strong. So that might be contributing to that. But yeah, it looks like this might be a good one to hop on. I know I'm going to continue to trade it. So moving on, we've got Zoom, ticker ZM. And the reason I bring this up is because Zoom reported earnings last week. And we kind of did this exercise previously. But Zoom reported earnings last week. It looks like earnings went pretty well. We see the chart still in an upward direction, upward channel. But if we go back to our watch list, Zoom was near the top of the list. And the reason I want to bring this up is because just because a stock is on the top of the list 1 week doesn't mean it's consistently at the top of the list. And typically, an indicator of which stocks don't really belong at the top of the watch list are if they're there and they're reporting earnings. Like, for example, Chewy, I don't think we've seen that on the top of the watch list. DocuSign, haven't seen that on the top of the watch list. Neo, we have seen it here and there, but it's not consistently there. So if we look for the ticker ZM, and I'm just going to, there it is. We're all the way down here now. We're still paying out 0.71. But if we look at the, I think it was like 0.8 or something last week. I could go back and look. I'm not too sure. We're nowhere near that, right? So we're coming off of a volatile week for Zoom, and there might be some leftover volatility there, meaning higher risk, higher reward, higher premiums. But I would expect that Zoom continues to drop in the amount of estimated premium that will be paid out. So just some caution there when trading stocks that are right after earnings. They might not always be paying out that amount in premium. And again, that's the name of the game. We want to find stocks that are paying out high premiums. So we're going to come down here. We'll look at the technical analysis, look at the 1 week. Didn't seem to change. I hope that's not just my screen not refreshing.
No,
but yeah, no. So we've got 5 sell signals, 10 neutral, 11 buy. For me, I'm not going to be trading Zoom just because I know that it doesn't consistently pay out high premiums. 0.7 is a good place to land, honestly. Dylan, I know that's right in your wheelhouse, but I personally like some other stocks on the board for this week. And then last stock we want to bring up is the TQs, TQQQ. Again, I just like looking at this one because there are no earnings to worry about, right? It's an ETF that essentially mirrors the market, right? And it doesn't report earnings, like I said. If we look at the 1 month chart, we're pretty flat. We're trading in this channel between 42.50 and like 45.50. So like a $3 channel there. That's not bad. The wheel strategy is a neutral to bullish strategy, right? So that means even in a flat market, we could still be making money. So I like where the TQs are right now. I'm personally trading those. If we look at the 1 week tech analysis here, we are on a buy. Yep, between neutral and buy, but 3 sell signals, 8 neutral signals, 15 buy signals. I feel good about it. Again, what's the estimated payout for the Qs here?
1.14. I know that because I'm adding it this week, and you guys will see me add it in a second.
There you go. Let's actually transition over to that, Dylan, if you want to start sharing your screen and show everybody how this could be automated.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know we get annoying with this, but we highly encourage any questions to be asked. If anything comes up, let us know. I'm going to share my screen here in just a second, and we are going to take a look at my portfolio. Just for last week, I believe I made about a 0.4% return on the week last week, which I'm very happy with. Again, not a get rich quick thing here. If we can make 0.25%, 0.5%, 1% a week, at the end of the year, our number is going to look pretty good. My personal account's up about 31 to 32% on the year. I'm thrilled with that. For anybody who knows me, knows that this will be the first year I ever make money in the stock market successfully. I shouldn't have said that. Knock on wood. We have a month left. No. So let's take a look at things. So this is my PeakBot account. For anybody who's not familiar, just go to app.usepeakbot.com. We offer a 2-week free trial. No credit card needed. As long as you can connect to your broker, Tradier, and we're connected with another platform as well. If you can connect to your broker, you can start trading today. The wheel enters today and tomorrow, and we're running weekly contracts, so they expire on Friday. So I typically run anywhere from 5 to 10 contracts a week, all depending upon the value of those contracts. So this week, I'm going to be changing some things up. So as everybody knows, I like to stick between 0.5% in premium and 1.5%. Why? Let's take a look at the watch list, and I can get into it. Well, first off, anything that's paying below 0.5%, still a good, safe trade. But it's hard for me to ignore all these ones that are up here if I go under 0.5%. So I know this isn't pretty
tempting,
but
it's tempting.
It is tempting. So
Dylan, can you zoom in a little bit on both screens? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. All right, is that any better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had AFRM in here from last week, and by the way, my broker account's totally wiped out right now, meaning that sounded bad. Totally clean. I own no shares right now. I'm in no positions. I'm just going to be selling all puts this week. So here's AFRM. I've been trading this for the last few weeks. This is a great return on my cash here, but 2.77% makes me a little nervous. That's a high-paying premium. That's pretty volatile. I'm going to be giving it the nicks. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to click on my edit screen here for AFRM, and I'm going to remove that. She's gone. Okay. Carvana, next one up that I want to evaluate. Actually, right next to it, paying even higher percentage in premium. This kills me to do, but
no,
Carvana,
you're not letting go of Carvana, are you?
For this week, I am. For this week, I am. I gotta stick to my rules. When I don't, the whole market crashes around me. I'm a bit of a fade. I am a bad luck charm in the market. So for all of you who won't drop Carvana this week, you're welcome. I'm probably gonna miss out, but I gotta stick to my rules. Almost a 3% return in premium. I just can't do it. So I'm gonna be dropping Carvana here as well. Now to replace those two, which added up, those take about, let's just call it 6.5, 7 grand in cash needed. So the one that I found that I really like on here is Trade Desk. So Trade Desk right now is trading at 71.60. They reported earnings no time recently last month. So my sold strike at the 30 delta is 69. My bought strike is 64. I do have a $500 max loss here, but I feel way better about what I'm collecting and my percentage return. So I'm going to go ahead and add Trade Desk by clicking the start button here. In 3 steps, I'm going to be in and out of here. I'm going to select the wheel. I'm going to type out Trade Desk. It's already here. I can also type out the ticker and it'll show up. I'm going to run 1 contract on that. It's going to tell me in red here the estimated dollar amount that I need to enter that contract. Now, you'll notice that that's not the exact number. This says 6,900. This says a little over 7,000. The reason is we build in a little bit of a buffer here. The stock changes, right? So we're not going to enter this contract until around between 11 and noon Eastern today. So the stock might change. It might go up. Nothing worse than you thinking you're going to get into a contract this week and collect premium and you don't because you didn't have the cash in your account. That's not fun for anybody.
That happens sometimes too, unfortunately.
What's that?
That happens sometimes too, unfortunately. We see it every week.
Yep. It does happen. So those are our 3 steps. Advanced settings, just for anybody who, any gamblers out there who want to collect a higher premium week to week and not be protected, you can turn off your hedge here and you can sell naked puts and calls, cash secured puts, covered calls. And that's all going to be on the 25 delta. But that ain't for me anymore. I don't think I'll ever go back. So I'm going to activate Trade Desk here, and it is now active in my portfolio. So we're going to take a look at Unity Software. This one's been in my portfolio for quite a while. It's trading at $32.52. The strikes are $30.50 and $28.50, making a $200 max loss at worst case scenario. I like this. I'm going to set up $3,000 to make 33. That's a 1.08% return. She's staying. I'm going to keep Unity. Now, Wayfair. Let's take a look. Wayfair. I'm going to stick to my rules. Right now, this is paying a 1.93% return. There are certain weeks where I might feel a little bit more chipper, and I stick with this. But it's outside of my 1.5 ceiling, 1.5% return ceiling. So I'm going to dump it. I'm going to get rid of Wayfair just by clicking edit, remove. It's gone. And what I'm going to add, as I mentioned earlier, TQs. So notice they're in the earnings report column here, estimated earnings date. There is none. TQQ and SQQQ, whatever, all the Qs, they don't report earnings, which naturally makes it, I might be speaking out of tone here a bit, but just a relatively safer stock, right? It's an ETF. So trading at 44.24, my strikes are 42 and 39, which creates a $300 loss. I'm going to set up $4,200 to get paid 48 in premium, and it's a 1.14% return. So we're going to get that going here, and just going to type in TQs, add 1 contract, and we're active. So this week, I'm actually only running 4 contracts as opposed to 5. These contracts have slightly higher value than the ones that did last week, but I'm sticking within my rules. I am happy. I feel good about it, and I'm ready for another week of trading here. So that's it for me and my portfolio. I know you're all wishing me the best of luck. Ben, I know we don't do this for your portfolio, but was there any changes you're making this week? Anything that you're adding or removing, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, I hesitate to show mine just because I've got a lot of testing going on. Like my personal account is like the test PeakBot account. So it's an absolute mess. I'm looking at it. Let me pull it up on my phone real quick. I'll tell you guys what I'm going to be automating this week. And I don't have the same rules that Dillon does in terms of returns or percentage that I look for in estimated returns. I've got Affirm, I've got Beyond, I've got Coin, Carvana, the Qs, Riot, Run, Upstart, and Wayfair. So what is that? Nine altogether. So that's what I've got right now. I've had that going for quite a while, and I don't particularly manage as closely as Dillon manages, which again, this is all automated, right? So you can be as hands-off if you want, as you want to be. And I really haven't touched that in a while, except for maybe one or two stocks. So I prefer more of a hands-off approach, and things have been going pretty well.
Yeah, and if I wasn't co-founder of PeakBot and we didn't do this show, and I didn't want to show you guys the changes you can make week to week, I am normally a bit more hands-off, but I'll tell you, I like looking at things week to week. And now with the new hedge, I love having a clean portfolio every week, most weeks. So yeah, I'm gonna keep rocking with it like this is. And Ben, you mentioned you don't have the same rules. What are your rules? Is there a premium bracket that you like to stay in between?
Yeah, it's really no earnings for me, right? No earnings for me, and then technical analysis. Like I look at the Tradier, the technical analysis tool. So if it's saying it's a sell or a strong sell, even worse, then I'll probably avoid it. I also like to go on to either Webull or Zacks and get an analyst rating. And I know on Webull at least, you can see how many analysts are actually providing their opinion on a particular stock. So if I go on and I'm looking at Carvana, for example, and maybe I'll pull it up. Let me see if I could find it quickly. If not, too bad. Oh yeah, I've got it. I've got GameStop up actually. So I'll go ahead and share screen real quick. And you could do this on Webull without an account. You can just go to app.webull.com. See, I'm not even logged in right now, but you go to analysis, analysts, and then, we've got two analysts looking at GameStop right now that at least Webull's pulling in. So if I wanted to look at like Carvana, type in the ticker here, we got 23 analysts. I don't know. Can we see that?
Yeah, we're going to move our faces here in just a second.
Yeah, let's move those faces. So we can look at the analysis here. We got 23 analysts reporting on Carvana. It looks like the overall consensus is a hold, which for me, that's fine, right? Because we said it before. The wheel is a neutral to bullish strategy. And then we've got their analyst price targets here. So very wide range. We got everywhere from $5 to $60. And we're falling like right around the average right now. So again, you could do this for any stock. I'll look up Coinbase real quick. This is a hold. It looks like we're nearing the upper end of our analyst price target. So again, and I also like to add these up together, like strong buy plus hold. That's putting me up into like the 70 something percentages, maybe even a little higher. And that makes me feel good about trading a bullish to neutral strategy. So I guess to get back to what are my rules? No earnings. Take a look at what analysts are saying, because there's a lot of people that are smarter than me, and I would prefer to trust those people smarter than me looking at these stocks. And I'll take a look at the chart too. If the stock's in a strong downward direction, I'll avoid it. If it's flat or trending up, then if I'm wanting to trade it, I probably will.
Awesome. No, thank you for sharing that. And because we know our audience ranges from new traders to full-time traders. And look, if you have the wherewithal to look at a chart and do your technical analysis and feel good about it, more power to you, right? The more homework you're going to do, the better you're going to feel. And the better you feel, that's really, I think that's incredibly important, right? Emotions are a big part of trading. Of course, with PeakBot, we're trying to eliminate those emotions and save you time by executing the trades on your behalf. And we're going to sign off here in just a second. But just remember, look, if you're watching this and you're not entirely sure if you're ready to trust an algorithm to trade for you, I'll say it. I'm not sure that there's a better platform to do it out here for you. We make it easy. We make it affordable. We make it transparent. So you have a 2-week free trial to test it out. We're going to be rolling out paper trading soon enough. I won't put a date on that, but we're working hand in hand with Tradier to get paper trading available for these strategies. And yeah, look, we're riding the first wave. We firmly believe that in the next 2 to 5 years, everybody's going to have a stock trader in their pocket. And we just wanted to make it simple. So really appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, phone number below if you have questions. You can schedule your chat. You can schedule your demo or chat with us at the link. But until next week, we will be back here 8:30 a.m. on next Monday, as we are every week on the Tradier Hub, their YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, our Twitter, etc. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at the peak. Take care. Good luck this week.